Welcome to a new video about Bessel response of LC ladder filter configurations. This is our example number 2, where we discuss the high-pass filter, and we'll see how we get this circuit step by step in our calculations and also verify these in SPICE simulations. So let's look at our objective. Objective is to design a Bessel response passive LC ladder high-pass filter. It must have a 50 ohm double terminated shunt input circuit. So this is the generalized filter we need to design. It must be a high-pass filter, Bessel response, using LC ladder configuration, so the inductor and the capacitors. And we have an RS, which is our source resistor, and RL, which is our load resistor. They are now scaled at 1 ohm, so that is our normalized values. And we need to scale it up to 50 ohm. In addition, we have these specifications. The maximum passband ripple must be 0.25 dB. The minimum stopband attenuation must be 15 dB. The passband frequency, there's this FP, which is then 10 megahertz, and the stopband frequency F of S will be 1 megahertz. So let's see how we can design this circuit for these specifications, the solutions. The first step is step 1, the passband normalization coefficient CP. Now, for a given maximum passband ripple, in this case 0.25, we can determine the coefficient for that. So we have a normalized coefficient which relates this a max. So this passband normalization frequency lies between 0 and 1, so it's just a number. And that is equivalent to the passband ripple in dBs between 0 and 3.01 dB approximately. So we can see the relationship between that. So it translates the A max into a CP values. Now the table we will show here shortly will then list this passband normalization frequency, coefficient CP, for several passband ripples and also for different filter orders. So this is actually shown here. So the first column you see the A max, so 0.25, 0.5, etc. You see here the first order and also the second order up to 10th order. So what you actually see is the following. It is 0.25 in our case, the A max, and you can say we need to look in this row. That's true. So it can be as first order, but it can be also as second order, maybe up to 10th order. So it can be also maybe 5th order. So there is not sufficient information at the moment, but we know it must be here, and we need to use the normalization coefficient here, in this case 0.30131, because it is a higher order filter than the first order. So we will see that shortly why that is. So why do we take this one and thus 0.25 as our normalization coefficient? So that's the first step. So that means for 0.25 we need to have a CP of 0.30131. Okay. Step 2 is a transition sharpness. So how sharp is this transition from the stop band to pass band? So that is actually the relation shown here. So between the pass band frequency and the stop band frequency, the ratio here given in omegas, you can also write it like this and then divide out of 2 pi, which is actually now in hertz, is in this case 10 megahertz over 1 megahertz, which is of course 10. The next step is step 3 is the normalized transition sharpness, which is then omega r prime, which is now related to that omega r and the CP we just determined from our table. So the omega r is 10, step 2, and CP is 0.30131, which is step 1. Together this is 10 times, so you get now 3.0131. And this is now the normalized transition sharpness. Step 4 is now one of the important steps, is the filter order. Now we already know that must be somewhere in second order. I already said that it is not first order. Now we can prove why that is. And for that we need to use this graph. You see here in the horizontal axis it is the normalized transition sharpness omega r prime. In the vertical axis you see here the stop band attenuation. Now we need 15 dB, so we need to look at the 15 dB shortly. So this 10 and 15 in between, and we need to also place this sharpness here, which is then 3.01 approximately here at this line here. So if I make this line, red line, which is at 3.0131, and the green line here at 15, I have an intersection here. Let's zoom in and see why this is now the way it is. So let's zoom in, and I bring this actually here closer. Again, this is the normalized transition sharpness, and this is stop and attenuation. You see here the green and the red line intersection here. That is below the second order. This is the second order line. This is the third order, so it goes actually in order up. And this is the first order. You see, actually, if we take, for example, first order, that will be not sufficient for our specifications. If it will be, for example, let's say 5 dB attenuation here, then the line will be here, the green line, and then you have an intersection there, so that will be then, the first order will be then sufficient. In this case, it is below second, but above first, so we need to have integer order, so it must be for second order. So we go for second order filter. So going back to the normal format, and we continue with our calculations. So we recount from table that we need, and also from the graph that we have an NS2, which is the second order for this transition sharpness normalized. Now step 5 is the frequency scaling factor Kf, which is for this high pass filter, which is just the omega p, so this fp times 2 pi times the cp. Now we know 2 pi times 10 to the power 7, which is then 10 megahertz, times this cp, which is from this first step, and you calculate this, you get now 18.93 megaradians per second, or in hertz 3.013 megahertz. Now we have the sufficient information for the next step. Step 6 is the scaled component values. This is the second order low pass filter circuit configuration. So we see C1 and L2, and then RS and RL as our source and the load. So this is just the green part of the circuit. Now you see here the table. In this case, you see it is a Bessel response, LC ladder configuration for our low pass filter configuration, and we need to have a second order. That means actually we need to look at here. And you see here two coefficients. One is the x1, the other one is x2. That means this C1 is the value here, which is normalized 0.5755 farads, and x2, which is the L2, which has a value normalized again 2.1478 henries. Of course, not really practical in most cases, so we need to scale it up to the specifications given here. So let's continue and then design this circuit according to the specifications. First, we need to transform this low pass filter to high pass, because we need to make a high pass filter and a low pass filter. So this goes to a high pass filter. What does change? The capacitors will change in the inductor, and inductors will change in the capacitor. That's the only change actually here. So in addition, you also see that RS is becoming RS prime, and RL is becoming RL prime. That is all scaled up from 1 ohm to 10 ohm, 50 ohm, 1 ohm to 50 ohm. And this is now the parallel inductor, and this is the series capacitor. So let's see what the calculations are. So LP1 is the Km over Kf C1. C1 is again this coefficient here. The Kf is our frequency scaling factor. Km is 50. Why? Again, we go from 1 ohm to 50 ohm. So we know this. And that is now here calculated as 4.589 microhenries. Now CS1 is calculated like this. Again, Km and Kf is required, but L2 is also from the table. So that will give us 491.8 picofarads. RS prime and RL prime are all 50 ohm, because they go from 1 ohm from here to 50. So the design circuit now is shown here. This is now the circuit drawn in the SPICE. You see the RS, C1, L2 and RL all normalized, so unscaled. This is just a prototype low pass filter. It will be then transformed to a high pass filter and also scaled. So you see the 50 ohm here, RS, 50 ohm for RL, and also CS1, LP1. So everything is actually shown according to this calculations also here. And this will be our second order Bessel response scaled LC ladder high pass filter circuit. So let's look at our simulation results. This is the circuit we just determined, and this is the body plot, just the gain. You see here the high pass characteristics. There are some labels here, so let's go one by one. The pass band gain here is minus 6.0206 dB, which is actually a gain of 0.5. Why? At high frequencies or very high frequencies, the circuit here behaves like an attenuator. So it has a 50 ohm divided by 50 plus 50, so 1/2 or 0.5. If you now do the conversion from the scaled version, so 0.5 to dBs, that will be 20 log of 0.5 will give you minus 6.02060 dB. So just simple calculation. So that's actually shown here. Now we also see that the gain is minus 6.2707 dB at 10 megahertz here, and that is going from this baseline down here. So you can do the calculation here. It is now 0.25 dBs. So it is actually what we wanted. So the next one is the stop attenuation, which is here at 1 megahertz. You see here this. We have at 1 megahertz minus 21.8305 dB. And again, looking from the baseline, and then again the calculation shown here, we go down by 15.8098 dB. But we needed minimum of 15 dB, so it means the more than the minimum required of 15 dB. So again, this is the proof that the second order is indeed sufficient. It's at the edge. You might say, okay, I want to have more headroom, then you go for third order, but this is sufficient at the moment. The cutoff frequency is also shown here. It is here shown. So you go down by minus 3, go down from this baseline by 3.0103 dB. That's shown here, and that is then 3.0134 megahertz. That's the cutoff frequency. But how do we calculate this? Now we know that the scaling factor for the frequency scaling factor was 18.93 megahertz. And we now divide this by 2 pi, you get now this, approximately this value, just running of errors. So we can see all of the values we have determined are correct, and also we verified this using this simulation results in SPICE for the body plot. Alright guys, this is our example number 2, considering the Bessel response for LC ladder configuration for our high-pass filter circuit. If you have any questions, comments about this example, please let me know. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. See you next time in another video. Take care.